The house on Dead Hollow Road. Locals always warned newcomers about the house at the end of Dead Hollow Road, abandoned, rotting and half swallowed by ivy. It was more than just a place to avoid. It was a place the town had forgotten on purpose. But 17-year-old Emily didn't believe in ghost stories. When her family moved into the old farmhouse after her father's sudden job transfer, she brushed off the rumors as small-town nonsense. That was before the scratching started. At first it was faint, like something brushing against the walls at night. Her parents said it was just raccoons. But raccoons don't whisper your name through the vents. Emily. Each night it got worse. Furniture moved on its own. Doors locked and unlocked themselves. Her little brother woke up screaming, swearing a woman with black eyes stood over his bed. Desperate, Emily dug through the attic and found a tattered journal from 1893 belonging to a girl named Clara, who once lived in the house. The entries grew more unhinged as Clara wrote about a shadow man who lived inside the walls and fed on the living. On the final page, smeared in dried blood, Clara wrote, "And once you hear him whisper, it's too late. He becomes you." That night, Emily heard the whisper again, but this time, it was inside her head. The next morning, she was silent, pale, blank-eyed. Her family says she's still Emily, but when she smiles, something else grins behind her eyes. And the scratching hasn't stopped. Emily hadn't spoken in days. Her parents thought it was shock or stress. They called a doctor, a therapist, even a priest, but nothing changed. She sat in her room with the lights off, staring at the wall, sometimes smiling at nothing. Then her drawings started. Hundreds of them. Paper after paper, charcoal sketches of black figures with stretched faces, hollow eyes, and long clawed hands. Each one stood inside the house, watching, waiting. In some drawings, the figures were inside her family, lurking beneath their skin. One night, her mother screamed. Her father ran to the hallway to find the family photos shredded. Each picture had Emily's face scratched out, and in its place, crudely drawn eyes. Eyes that bled black ink. They tried to leave the house the next morning, but the road was gone, literally. The GPS spun in circles, the path out of Dead Hollow Road ending in dense woods that hadn't been there before. That night, the walls began to bleed. Not metaphorically, actual dark liquid seeped from the corners of the house. It reeked of iron and rot. Emily stood barefoot in the hall, tracing the walls with her fingers, whispering, "He's almost through." The journal she'd found in the attic was missing. But her father, desperate, climbed up to the attic again, this time pulling the floorboards apart. Beneath them, he found bones. Dozens of them. Small like children's, arranged in a circle. In the center was a mirror, wrapped in cloth. When he uncovered it, his reflection didn't move. It stared back at him, grinning. That night, Emily spoke again. Her voice wasn't hers anymore. "Clara brought him to this world. I let him in. He's here now. And he's hungry." Suddenly, they understood. The house was never haunted. It was a gate. And Emily wasn't their daughter anymore. The storm rolled in just after midnight. Thunder cracked above the house like bones splitting open, and lightning revealed the truth hidden beneath the peeling wallpaper, symbols, sigils, and twisted markings scorched into the wood beneath. It wasn't a home. It was a prison, or worse, a temple. Emily stood at the top of the stairs in a white nightgown soaked with black liquid. Her eyes were entirely dark now, bottomless pits, like something was looking out from inside her. "You should never have opened the mirror," she said calmly. "Now he doesn't need me anymore." Her mother sobbed on the floor, rocking her younger son, who hadn't spoken since seeing the mirror man in his room. Her father gripped the rusted axe he found in the cellar, eyes darting between Emily and the stairs behind her. He didn't want to believe it, but he'd seen the reflection too. He'd heard the voice, low, ancient, hollow, and knew there was only one way to stop it. The mirror was the key. Clara's journal had hinted at it. The gate is bound to glass. Break the reflection, end the possession. But it wasn't just about breaking a mirror. The house had become the mirror now. He had to destroy the entire place. As the family fled into the storm, Emily just stood there smiling. But not at them, at something behind them. The ground trembled. The sky opened. From the woods, shadows slithered toward the porch like oil-made flesh. He turned back one last time. "I'm sorry, baby." And with that, he lit the kerosene-soaked rag and hurled the bottle through the front window. The house screamed. Not just the wood and nails, but something inside, something alive. It howled in fury as flames devoured the structure. The shadows vanished with it, curling into ash, their shrieks blending with the roar of fire and storm. Emily stepped into the doorway, untouched by the blaze as if the fire bowed around her. But then, her face cracked. Not from heat, from the inside. Her skin split like porcelain, and for a moment, her father's heart stopped, until he saw something familiar return to her eyes. Fear, humanity. "Dad?" she whispered. "You have to let me go." Then the fire took her. By morning, all that remained was a smoldering foundation and charred bones. The mirror, shattered in 1,000 black pieces, was found buried under the ruins. The family moved far away from Dead Hollow Road, never speaking of what happened again. But sometimes, in the stillness of certain nights, the boy hears whispering behind his closet door. A name spoken in that same low, ancient voice. "Clara?" And in his dreams, he sees a burned house and still standing.